Hi again, welcome back. This is the central processing unit that I chose. Is the Intel Core i7-8700. It can be overclocked up to 4.7 gigahertz, and it is a 8th generation LGA 1151. Once again, I don't know anything about computers, so I have to read the manual. This is the manual that comes with. Let's go look at the pretty pictures. They want me to keep the cover on top of the socket, the CPU socket, to avoid dust. Pretty straightforward. I can see all the instructions. They are pretty easy to follow. So let's get it out of the box. And let me reorganize everything to see how am I going to do this and see what will be the easiest way to install this CPU. Alright, this is the CPU, this is the box. It looks okay. I didn't see any external damage on the box. And I was reading the manual to identify some parts. I see the cover and the lever that I have to move. So I'm gonna do a practice run and see how it looks inside. I did take a picture of the pins right after I opened the motherboard just to make sure everything was okay. And it has a ref and cue here on this corner that I have to match with the CPU has on this corner. So that's how you lay it on top or inside the socket. Let me close it back up and turn my flashlight on. Asus says this is a new generation of CPU sockets and CPUs. There is no crackle sound for the pins when you insert the CPU into the CPU socket. So you're just gonna lay it on top. Once again, I'm a first-time builder, so I don't know what I'm looking for, but I don't see any dents or holes in between the pins. Just comparing this one to damaged CPUs that I've seen before. Alright, let's get this guy out of this plastic cover. Let me see how this is gonna work. Okay, you just open it pretty easy and pick it up by the size very gently. Do not touch the pins, like so. Flip it over and you can see here in the bottom corner the reference cue that you're going to use to lay the CPU inside the CPU socket in the proper orientation. So let's go install this sucker. So let me put the light over here and lift the cover by lifting the lever. And you're just gonna lay it down very gently right there and make sure it doesn't move. It doesn't. It fits perfectly. And now we're gonna go and close it back up. So you grab it by the lever on the right and make sure you clip this little notch into that screw before you put the lever down. And now just push all the way down and there you go, the cover pops out and the CPU is installed. And that is it. I wish you could hear my heart because it's about to come out of my mouth installing this thing because I'm so nervous. So let's hope it works. And now let's go install the RAM. The random access memory that I chosen is the G.Skill Trident Z series 16 gigabytes. It comes into 8 gigabyte cards. So this is the pump. These are the hoses. The water pump is gonna go here on top of the CPU, and the hoses will be right here on top of the RAM. If I install the pump now and the RAM later, I will have to lift up the hoses, putting stress on the connections. So I don't want to do that. Alright, so let's finish unboxing this, guys. You can see there are two. And I wanted to get RGB RAM, but it was too expensive. I will get the RGB maybe later on. And I'm gonna have to lay this case on the side, so here we go. And I have to move this guy to the side so I have space to work right there. So they're gonna go there, and here you can see where they are: DIMM A1, A2, B1, and B2. I'm gonna do the two gray ones, that one and that one. You just open those latches and keep it ready to install the RAM. The manual recommends to use this one of this configuration, the DIMM A2 and DIMM B2, when you are using two cards. Alright, so let's grab this one and let me look at it real quick. The front looks okay, and the back as well. You can see one side is long, the other one is short. It looks like the long port is on top, so let me flip this over and slide it in. I'm a first time builder, so it'll take me a little bit. I don't want to hurt any components, so I'm very gentle and afraid of hurting anything. So it's gonna take me a little bit to install this. Okay, finally I got one. Let's go get the other one, and here we go. I've seen people online installing this RAM in less than 20 seconds. It's taking me a little bit because it's my first time, so I'm taking my time. I don't want to break anything. Alright, final check, final clicks, make sure everything is tight. And finally, the RAM is installed. Now I gotta get this pump clean again. This will be the second time, because I removed the thermal paste that the pump had when I first opened the box. So this is the end of this part. The next part will be installing the back plate to support the water pump, remove the old thermal paste, applying the new thermal paste, and installing the water pump.